Breaking Down the Law is sponsored by Battle-Born Injury Lawyers.
And it is our weekly segment, Breaking Down the Law, touching base on all those current trending topics. And right now we're focusing on some new laws.
Yep.
Still just 2 weeks into the year. So Matthew Hoffmann from Battle-Born Injury Lawyers joining us to talk about some of these big ones. A lot of them making headlines, a lot of them making national headlines. The red flag law, talking about guns. Let's just dive right into it because that one has people talking.
Yeah, that's the most controversial law by far. So the red flag law, basically anybody that's living in a household together, presumably family members, but not always. If they feel that somebody that they're living with is a threat to themselves or others, they can go to the court and request an order that they not be allowed to possess firearms. And in fact, the firearms can be confiscated. So proponents of the bill, the reason behind it really is to say, look, if we want to stop mass shootings, the way to stop it is to start it in the household.
Somebody that knows the mental state
Exactly.
of someone they're living with.
Yeah, presumably, maybe it's a young child or just anybody that they're acting erratically and the family members can go to the court to stop it. So that's kind of the purpose behind the bill as I understand it.
Okay.
Opponents of the bill are saying, hey, this is the Second Amendment, you're taking away somebody's constitutional right, and now you're giving it to the court to do it, and there's concerns that it'll be abused. That's the big concern, that people are going to be filing these frivolous motions with the court, just to get revenge on people, or that it'll somehow be abused.
I've heard that a lot about revenge. So it gives the courts a lot of power.
It does give the courts a lot of power. So it's going to be a work in progress on this one. I mean, I haven't heard of any test cases yet, but we'll have to see how it develops.
But it is something you have to be living in that home. So it isn't someone that could be the girlfriend or scorned ex-lover living in another state or city or
family member, roommate, an uncle living at home, that kind of thing.
Someone in the home. Okay, so that's a little peace of mind maybe for folks who had some questions. Of course, I'm sure Matthew can answer more. So many more things to talk about. Another hot topic, marijuana.
Yeah, so marijuana in the workplace, the new law, and I did talk about this a couple months ago, but quickly, you cannot refuse to hire somebody because they tested positive for marijuana.
Okay.
So it sounds good on its face, nice law. It doesn't apply to new hires, or it only applies to new hires.
Okay.
It doesn't apply to existing employees, but really, it's a bit of a shallow law because, I mean, you could say I didn't not hire him because of marijuana and make up another reason.
Not a lot of teeth to it, but it looks good, like you said, on paper.
Yep, and it doesn't apply to unions, which a lot of jobs are. If they, if it's a union job and they forbid it, then it's forbidden. It doesn't apply to that. It doesn't apply to jobs where you could pose a danger to others. Like
an EMT, a firefighter.
Or even working in a warehouse operating a forklift.
Okay.
Theoretically, it wouldn't apply to that. So. Sounds good, but I don't know if it's going to have a lot of practical implications.
Okay, so that one, of course, made a lot of headlines. Some other ones.
The other gun law. So we have now gotten rid of basically what was the gun show exception.
Yes.
So federally, if you're a licensed firearm dealer, you have to do a background check.
Okay.
But if you're not a licensed dealer, you don't. And so basically the complaint was people would go to gun shows with these unlicensed people, and they would buy guns with no background check. In Nevada, at least, that is gone now. Okay. Any private sale of weapons, they have to do a background check, and the private seller can go to a licensed dealer and have that background check conducted.
I know that was a lot of issue too for California lawmakers. We're pushing Nevada lawmakers to make that happen.
Yep.
Okay.
And there's exceptions for giving money, giving guns within family members or antiques, and then law enforcement.
Okay, so a little stipulation there.
Some of the other ones are vaping. So vaping is now treated like cigarette smoking. If you can't smoke in an area, you can't vape in an area.
So some public parks, I believe.
Absolutely.
Not Clark County maybe, but the city of Las Vegas, I think.
Yep. And so if you go to the airport, you can't be vaping in the airport. You can only vape in the cigarette smoking area.
Okay.
Sporting events, people were vaping at Golden Knights games, and you can't do that.
Which you really couldn't smell it, so it was harder to kind of identify.
Or they blowed
so
in
now,
a shirt, or
now we know. Okay, I know there's so many. I wish we had more time. Of course, Matthew always is so wonderful and makes himself available via social media. You can always reach out to us and ask questions. Thank you for kind of breaking these down. I think it makes it a little easier for all of us to understand what's going on out there. But like I said, always direct questions this way because Matthew is the lawyer, understanding it all, kind of breaking it down, making it easy for us. So
thank you.
Thank you.